This week's episode is sponsored by Chana Liba, in honor of the engagement of her son Beryl Lou to Chana Schwartz, when they build a Bayis Neman B'Yisrael and establish an everlasting edifice. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. I remember the very first teacher I had in yeshiva, and what he taught me. He had long curly payas, those side locks, and he had a long thick beard, 18th century hat, 17th century long jacket. I was thinking, here is a religious Jew. Right after that thought crossed my mind, the first words out of his mouth were, Judaism is not a religion. I'll never forget what he said after that. Referring to the 613 mitzvot, commandments, it's more accurate to say 613 ways to woo your lover. Okay, so I need you to hold on to that thought. We often find in the Torah that God says to the Jews, do such and such mitzvah for me, because I'm the God who took you out of Egypt. Taking us out of Egypt was certainly beyond impressive, but wouldn't it be more compelling to say, do such and such a thing for me because I created you and the entire universe? Okay, so here's the explanation. If God said, do this because I created the universe, one might hear, I, God, am so beyond you. Look how inconsequential you are. Now that would strike some real fear into my bones. I'd definitely follow the rules like a slave listening to the master. In other words, I'd be very religious. But God chooses to say, do this because I took you out of Egypt. I personally relieved you of your struggle. And as the Torah says, Egypt just doesn't mean a place and time. We all have our own personal Egypts. Those issues, insecurities, addictions, traumas, which hold us back from being who we are truly meant to become. By putting it this way, God is saying, you matter to me. I am a God who is involved in your life. You are not inconsequential. You are the one I chose. So what he's saying is, do this mitzvah for me so we can both give to each other, as in a strong and healthy relationship. Because that's what I, God, want. A relationship with you. The relationship between a Jew and God. That is Judaism. Have a happy Passover.